Nationwide is on your side. We are not sponsored.
The Nationwide, if you like that, you come get more. Okay, it is the podcast. Walk us through it.
It's the podcast. We are
We're here.
one baker and one pretend bee baker.
Amen.
Running the ship into the ground.
So the Baking It Down podcast is an extension of a Facebook group. If you've been pending, you're not alone.
A lot of people
said, hey, I've been pending for a while. I did everything Corrie said to
getting them in there.
I'm helping them.
It's called quality. Some of y'all answered only like 1 or 2 questions.
There's a lot of them.
There are 4.
So it's an extension of the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group on Facebook. But if you can't get into the group, at least follow the page and you can bug Corrie there.
Yeah.
Needs to be the
yes. Heather said she was going to make one post on the page to be like, if you're still pending.
If you've been pending for over 4 months.
Comment below.
But the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group on Facebook is 43,000 people. So we get to see a lot of problems.
A lot of business challenges. Challenge. I'm trying to reword it in a nicer way. Instead of problemos.
Problems.
We see business.
Fancy words coming, I can tell.
Struggles.
Oh.
Business successions.
Is that word? I like it. I'd listen.
Business. I don't know, something that would go with.
We see a lot of business.
A lot of your business.
A lot of our business. So today, Corrie wanted to talk about her corporate girly
I promised
era.
Val we would talk about how to get you a corporate girly.
Are you planning for this podcast?
I'm planning
to sit really close to the mic. I want you to, without an attitude, scoot your chair back 5 inches. 5 inches.
Then listen.
Okay, but don't move your head forward 5 inches. The whole body.
Don't say. And don't do
I
this.
said without an attitude. Without attitude. Okay, so Corrie wanted to talk about her corporate girly era, which she has entered and is thriving.
Thriving, not creatively. My wallet is thriving.
So we kind of broke down how she's ventured in here, why she never wants to leave, and how you can get there as well.
And I will say that, what is it when you make different avenues? Diversifying your income avenues within your business, you can make a butt ton of money.
Yeah, and then you don't have to be so reliant when the mom's going on vacation in June. It's not shutting down your business.
Exactly.
Right.
Between corporate, customs, and classes,
a lot of C's.
The 3 C's there.
The Cookie College
with Corrie. There's a lot of ways that you can use your time a little bit more wisely and use it to effectively do the same work you were doing, but making more money or the same money, less work. Yes.
So let's define what you say corporate is, just so that we're all working from the same textbook.
One icing, one cookie.
Okay, no, like who's a corporate client?
Corporate clients would be, I honestly don't like working with real estate agents, but real estate agents for their open house, home show, like remodeling clients that go to those conventions.
If it ends with an LLC, S Corp, Inc., then that's what we're calling corporate. But the size of the business can vary between, I know we're going to talk about Neiman Marcus, and then we're also going to talk about small business, which could be as small as one person.
Yeah, that med spa.
But typically, I would wager that the ideal corporate client is probably 10 people or more.
I would agree.
When we have just a single unit, like a single member LLC or something, that's almost a single client, just now piping it through the government taxes. But I think their budgets aren't as big.
Single clients with big orders had my name written all over it. Who? Single men.
You're not single. And men don't like you. Okay, so let's go. You were in a rare mood.
I'm a rare bird.
So let's go through. So walk us through some of the corporate clients you got in the last 365 days.
Okay. Neiman Marcus, so retail. We've gotten, who else? Oh, the med spa was one.
Local business, right?
Pilates club, a yoga studio.
Local. Are they franchised? Some of those are franchises.
Those are both franchises.
Both franchises.
But
I know
locally,
you had a landscaping company, which is
not
local.
Yeah.
But I see their trucks all the time, so it must be a little bit larger scale.
I think he's a little bit larger.
Yeah. What else?
That Bespoke was that IT government contracting one.
Yes. And then remodeler.
There's been one customer order, but she never said what they were for, but she was buying them for somebody. So I just listed her as local.
Okay, so that is the array. So we got, Neiman Marcus, international.
Oh, I did it for the military.
International.
Yeah.
We have, international all the way down to working in a hyper local area right around it.
Yeah.
Okay, that works. So now when we dive into corporate, you have number one, the content has to shift.
I will say the content will shift because what you put out there is what people are going to assume with your business.
So Corey's saying social media posts, your photos and stuff. I know a lot of us are very, hey, it's your first child's birthday centric because that's the last person who ordered.
Yeah. And it's just more like what order comes in is the next order I'm going to post.
Yeah. And a lot of us that because we post what we bake and that's what we photograph, that's also what we create as a lead funnel. Because it's so people are thinking, well, I didn't take a corporate order. I can't post a corporate order. No, you had to at one time just make up a fake company.
I did.
Yeah. And then Corey made up a fake company, made a fake corporate order and said, hey, these are the corporate orders that I am capable of doing. So that's the shift in content. Whereas a lot of the things you're going to post is if you're into classes, it's going to be about classes, but classes don't translate to corporate very well.
A lot of times I see people post about their farmers markets or whatever.
Makes sense.
I wouldn't look at the farmers market post and think they do corporate orders.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to extrapolate that the farmer's market next to the veggie guy is also going to be the same baker that does my giveaways for the
Your
Christmas
200,
Christmas
1,500 cookie order.
Yeah. So that new content shift, which is a loss leader for sure, because you're not actually selling those, you could always donate them or, that's what I always say, like when I worked for a company and we would have leftovers or we'd have a surplus of stuff, we would just donate it to the firehouse and those dudes loved it.
Why not do custom logo cookies for the firehouse?
Yeah.
I know the police department would eat that up. Literally.
That'd be a really interesting idea to kind of let your content shift before your funnel does. It feels like you're working for free because you are, but on the back side of this pays in dividends, and that's what we're going to get into in a second.
I will say, people are like, but I have so many customs. I'm just getting my foot wet into the corporate order. You can do it's Corporate Monday. We're featuring a business this week, and then still do your baby shower cookies and your birthday cookies.
See, it's got to be a little bit intentional though, because this is now you're creating a funnel that doesn't exist yet. So you have to create content that doesn't exist yet. And then you have to create space and time to cultivate that content. And you may not have that time. So it's got to be pretty intentional.
Yeah.
So moving on, you say, okay, now when people hear corporate, there are a special set of tools that you would secure to be able to produce these corporate orders. Because when Corrie was talking about corporate over lunch today, she said boring, not creative.
No.
Just repetitive, boring, consistent, that.
Mind
numbing. Yeah.
But
income.
One, nice in color.
Right. So we said, when you think of corporate, what you're going to end up getting a lot of is logos.
Lots of logos.
Lots of them. Almost all of the corporate orders we talked about is a logo.
It is. But what I did for the med spa, I did, the single line drawing, the roundhouse.
Very cute.
In addition to her logo.
So a little bit creative, but again, logos are pervasive. And every single example you gave us, there was a logo.
Absolutely. And the bigger the order, the more just logo-y it will get.
Yeah, because you think of the client. They're not trying to impress a 1-year-old on a smash cake. They're trying to say, this is my brand. Remember me when you order landscaping or new shoes or have a headache and need a med spa, I guess. Botox.
Yeah.
So
where are you going for your headache? I usually just run to Target and Advil.
Botox. Airbrush, Cricut, and Eddie. So obviously the Eddie is great for corporate orders.
It really is. But if you're I'm not there yet, you can still print on wafer paper and attach it to the top of the
I should have added that one. Wafer paper is a great idea. And some people don't like the taste of it. Hey, we're not talking about it's not a taste testing contest here. These are corporate clients. They don't care.
Honestly, they don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more can you get the job done? Does it look presentable?
Does it have my logo on it?
Yeah.
So you can get an airbrush and a Cricut. The Cricut allows you to print out the stencils, or the airbrush, is that what you call them, stencils?
Yes, stencils. And
then you have the scrapey
airbrush,
stencils.
The same Cricut would make both of them.
Right. So again, learning curve with the Cricut. If you're anything like me, it's still in the box. I said the Cricut, you should cut yourself out of the box. Because you have all the tools.
And I can see you tested the theory and it didn't.
So you could get an airbrush and a Cricut. Again, learning curve, cheaper cost. Or you can get the wafer paper, which some people don't like the taste of wafer paper, so may lose a few clients there. Or you can really spring for that Eddie. $3,000 is not chump change, but Eddie can be covered very quickly is cost by these corporate orders.
Yeah, by the corporate orders.
Now, you can't buy an Eddie and be like, why aren't you paying for yourself? No, it requires all the 6 points.
You're going to have to do a little work. Eddie can do a lot.
But
the man cannot knock on doors.
You cannot walk around. So that's the securing of the tools. Now, when we think of corporate orders, you're also going to invest in packaging that fits more cookies, because a lot of these corporates, nowhere near enough. You're looking at 4 dozen, 5 dozen.
What they don't want is 52 boxes stacked high, and you're like, there's a dozen in each.
If these were brought into an expo center, is the person having to set these up suffering?
Yeah.
And a lot of times give them one box, make it very sturdy, give them the instructions printed on the box so they don't have to worry about it. I went with Corrie last week to the Neiman Marcus, and then I was floored by the prices of everything. I felt like I needed to leave. I felt like they're like, ma'am, you can't be here. You can't afford this. And I was like, man, I cannot.
Wow,
yeah, I walked out. Did we talk about this on the podcast?
We did.
Yeah, I walked out. There's a shirt, $3,000.
$3,000.
Like when you snag things? That was a snaggable shirt.
It was a snaggable shirt.
Oh my goodness. But when we got there, of course, the lady who placed the order wasn't working that day because this is corporate. They work in shifts. This is a job. And Corey's like, I have 2 boxes. And he's like, great, I want them left right here. And Corey's like, do not touch a fridge. Leave them right here in this these 2 boxes. And he's like, great, nobody's going to touch them. So you got to see, it's not where this mom is having her 6-year-old's birthday party. And he's like, oh my goodness, Gucci goo. No, it's like, this guy's like, put it here. Don't touch it.
I know. I would say, like, I had a customer pick up her cookies last week and we talked for 20 minutes. That gentleman at Neiman Marcus, we talked to maybe 42 seconds.
You guys can't afford my time. So yeah, we want to be very efficient in our packaging. Now, you did zhuzh up the packaging. However, the ability to carry it around was there. I know.
And I'm running out of those boxes. But if you guys recall, Target in the dollar section had these shoe boxes, and they were just like craft paper boxes, but they're super sturdy. And I bought them
Uline
flat.
Would sell
shoe boxes. Looked.
Really?
They came in flat. They're super sturdy, easy to put together, but hold exactly 4 dozen 3.5-inch cookies.
See, that's the kind of numbers we want to talk about with the strategy of corporate. Now, every single one you cello bagged and put a bow on the top, and it looked like a billion of the same thing.
It was there was one shape.
Yeah, and that's why corporate is so great. We'll get to that in a second when we finish this out. You have number 3, nail down the corporate tech. So when we're talking about corporate, we're no longer the cottage home baker who's just getting started. They don't no longer want to be risk.
DM me on Messenger and we'll chit chat about
cursing
it.
There, like,
DM me on Messenger. Gosh darn it!
So nail down corporate tech. Do you have a custom email address? When you're emailing Neiman Marcus, you're often talking to Stacy at NeimanMarcus.com. Are you CorrieMiracle@gmail.com? That's not as professional.
Yeah,
it's only $6 to set up a custom domain. You get a domain and you get a custom email. The domain around $12. A custom email is $6.
Worth it.
It's not a lot of money when you can secure an order. Like, you asked me to create the invoice for these things. We're talking $700.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if it's only $12, it's kind of hard to not say, go just do that.
I know. And she assumed 100% send the invoice here.
Right. And then we have invoicing software. So with these corporate clients like Neiman Marcus or a local med spa, we don't want to be like, Venmo me at Heather Miracle 153. That's just not going to cut it with what these companies need to be able to turn in these invoices.
Yeah, because it's not just going to Sally over there. It's going to 5 different people. It's going to
the accounting team.
Yeah. It's got to get approved. Accounting has to approve it. And then they are going to cut you a check.
Yeah, hopefully. Susan Reed would. But it's important to keep in mind that our professionalism is a great representation for the person, the point of contact, as they take this information and report it to their overheads. Very rare have you dealt directly with the owner of these companies, right?
Yeah, it's typically not.
It's always like this marketing person,
it's someone
or the
put on
office manager. So this person is reporting. They're using our information to report back, and we got to make them look good. The more we make this one person look good, the more they're likely to come back or refer us again. So a lot of times, an EIN number is, the government issued tax ID number. That means you're legitimate and you're paying taxes, and they're paying taxes, and they're going to tell the government that you need to pay taxes on what they just paid you. So it is very nice to have business banking, business EIN number.
All that adds a note of trustworthiness.
Yes.
These orders are not small. It's not a $50 order.
No.
So if I was handing someone the cashish, because I do like to take payment up front, corporate, sometimes you have, we're
net 30.
Yeah, net 30. Net 90.
Net 365. That's
I feel like that's an internet provider. You want that sense of trust because you're taking their money and then they're hoping that you do it on your end. So whatever little thing you can do to earn their trust, especially if it's a first-time customer, that's what you want to put out there. The feeling of trustworthy. Like, I know I'm a one-person band, and I don't say, like, we, because at the end of the day, it's me.
Me and sometimes my twin might help me. But, like, okay, I'll call you out on it. If your email has your birth year in it.
1988.
My personal email, yeah. I was like, when I was, I don't know, whenever I made it, I was like, yeah, this is a great idea.
It's Heather.miracle88. Mine, unfortunately.
If you combine mine and yours, you get our entire birthday.
Listen, I hate getting my normal email address. One, I've had it for a billion years, so I can't change it.
Also, it has your ex-husband.
I hate that.
I love it.
But I have to say, Corrie. No one knows how to spell it, so I'm like Corrie. A as in apple. Mason. Mason. And then they're like getting ready to put the at. I'm like, 1 2. Do you have my birthday? Because our birthday is November 22nd.
It must make signing up for rewards
November 22nd. But it makes me look like a child. Like
they're like, okay, so Corrie Mason, no. M-I. So we don't want to follow me and Corrie, specifically not Corrie's steps and put our ex's name in our email. But we want to have that EIN. And I know you're like, ooh, I don't want to do it. It's $50 to file it. Yeah. When we first started these companies years ago, I filed them wrong in an account. I was like, idiot. But I had the information. We just refiled it. I'd like to start a business. But setting up an EIN allows you to get business banking information, and it allows you to just look really a lot more polished, because I'm like, well, if the IRS is keeping track of this business, then I don't have to keep as much track of it.
No, they'll keep track.
Right. But if I came to somebody and they're like, pay me friends and family, nothing would make me run for the hills and somebody telling me to pay them friends and family. Nothing screams, I'm taking your money and you'll never.
One time I bought from a small business and they were like, pay me via Venmo. If you pay via Venmo using not friends and family, I'll add 3.5%. If you pay friends and family, you'll save the money. I was like,
listen, Corrie A. Mason, 1122.
Horrendous.
Yeah, and these corporate people do not have time to figure out if you're legit or not, right?
Yeah. And saying, like, pay me friends and family. It just was like, are you going to run with my money?
No, I'm trying to avoid taxes. But yeah, I think, it takes money to make money. And then as much as I hate paying taxes, they're going to find you.
I hate it.
Corrie and I can't wait to see the IRS saying, hey, you forgot this one thing.
Oh, I didn't forget.
I remember I've been thinking about you ever since.
Net 365? Ever heard of it?
Now, a lot of times when you get
funny.
Oh, it was Netscape Navigator. I'm so sorry.
No, I think it was Net 365. Google it.
Net 365. What are you? Net. It doesn't even pull anything up. There's nothing. It was nothing.
Okay.
A W-9. A lot of times when you take corporate orders, the corporate client's going to say, hey, can you send us your W-9? If you're anything like me, immediate panic. No, that's absolutely what they need from you to report that they paid you, which means that you will need to report that you are paid and pay taxes on it. But it is a normal thing. Now, if I was a corporate client and Corrie just said, if you need the W-9, it's attached. Oh my goodness, how confident, inspiring. But to send a W-9, you have to have an EIN number.
You do.
So that is what. Another thing that we do that adds just a little, not recommending this one, it's just what we do is we rent a UPS box that actually, because it's treated like a suite, because it can take packages, that is our business address, and it's just a little bit more
It just looks a little more professional than America. Not go.
And you're gonna, when you give them your social next?
My birthday's coming. That is my address.
So the W-9, the EIN, and if you wanted to be a little extra, the P.O. box, or which case we use the UPS store, which isn't the cheapest thing. It was like $300 a year.
I know.
They keep raising the rate.
I know.
I'm like, whoa, buddy.
Because they were like, it's not like you're going to go change it on everything.
Dumb posted this everywhere. That just adds a little bit more of that confidence-inspiring corporate order, girly era that we're looking for. And then that also allows you to get insurance, which typically people recommend flip insurance.
Yeah.
I think it would just be, whatever.
Listen, if Neiman Marcus goes after me, I'm going to look.
You can take that shirt and you can sue me for as much as that shirt is. Then we have point number 4, outreach. So let's just recap real quick, we have to shift our content to get our first order. That may require working for absolute free. But, and we're going to talk about this later, you could do a Main Street collab to be able to create the content to shift this over. Then second, we got to secure the tools. We want tools that allow us to be fast, efficient, and effective with quick turnaround times. I'll talk about that in a second. Then we want to nail down the corporate tech. They want EIN numbers. They want custom emails. They want efficiency and invoicing software. You can send an invoice in PayPal Business. You can, so there's, and then you can also, yes, you can open Microsoft Word and send an invoice that way, but you're still collecting payment externally to that. So these invoicing softwares like QuickBooks, or I think a lot of people like Wave, you can send these invoices. I think Square allows it too, where it collects payment at the time of the invoice.
And it saves just one extra step.
I think, and I don't recommend that app anymore because it kept raising their prices, but FreshBooks allows you to allow them to pay net 30. But after that, not only can you send the reminder schedule, you can also have fees for late payment.
To kind of.
So I always say to our clients when we use that software, like, hey, if you don't pay within 30 days, there's a 10% fee, but just let me know and I'll waive it. But I want them to know that there is a fee. So we are in a time sensitive primary.
We should not be waiving that.
Okay, well, they'll pay it. Or they ghost us. They get into their Halloween spirit. Outreach. So we have email marketing. Okay, good. We talk about email marketing all the time. So, okay, well, I have an email list. I'm going to just blast them with my corporate. No, the person who had you bake for their baby's second birthday, yeah, she might have a job, but that's not the list that we want to send targeted corporate Girly Era stuff to. So you would want a segmented list, which means you're going to go back through your orders and find anyone you know that had referenced a corporate order or is a past corporate client, and you're going to start adding them to a specific list, a sub list within your email software that you can send these corporate offerings for, because a segmented list is going to be a lot smaller than your entire list.
It will.
But it's going to be a lot stronger.
Right. And even people that in the past have inquired for a corporate order and maybe did not buy at that time, that's perfect for your list.
Yeah, and that's something you can always say, like when you send that corporate invoice to that person, they're not sure yet, be like, hey, I'm going to add you to my email list. If this doesn't work for you now, I just want to stay in your inbox. So if we can sync up later, I'd love to do this for you then.
I like to do it without the will. Against the law.
It's technically not against the law to add somebody to an email list, but you have to have the ability that they can immediately opt out. And you can't like, I sold you cookies, so now I'm selling you cars. No, it has to be along the same lines of the first purchase.
Here's a house.
Corporate. We have LinkedIn. You want to talk about that?
LinkedIn is a great place.
Can we say it's a great place?
It's not a great place. It's a horrendous place. It's a nightmare, really.
My worst fear.
The thing is, if you have a LinkedIn account, like your personal professional profile, if you're like me, you've had it for a billion years, there's probably over 500 connections on there, because at the end, at 500, for some reason, it stops counting.
Yeah.
I switched mine to, you can follow me now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Versus always connecting. Now you can just,
interesting.
like I'm a creator.
They changed it then.
Yeah, they did.
Smart.
Yeah, because they were like, people are not saying yes to random other people.
Yeah, stop saying yes.
Let them follow. But what I've done is, if I finish a corporate set, so I'm not posting baby showers on there. Corporate people don't like business. They're not wanting to see your personal life on there.
Content shift.
So what I'm doing is tagging the businesses that I've created corporate orders for. Odds are it is the owner that's behind that account. So even if his admin was the one who booked with me, he's seeing that. And then I'm being able to showcase them on mine while also showing people, hey, here's what I can do for you.
Nothing makes a real estate agent more jealous than seeing that another real estate agent did something they didn't think of. So that is a great way to target. So then you say, well, I'm not connected to any real estate agents. Go connect with them. They all say yes.
They all say yeah. They will say yes to you.
Yeah. And if they don't, no sweat. You can just, there's, just so many.
But just like anything, you got to create a little bit of a relationship. It's not just you outputting content.
Friend.
Right.
You got to say, hey, Cheryl, you saw your real estate agent. I'm looking to grow my network of real estate agents in the area. Super happy to connect with you. That's it. We're not going to sell them that first message.
No.
We're going to let our content reach them.
And what kind of creates a funnel there is going to these networking groups, which I know it's on our list here. But these networking groups allow you to open that line of conversation. Like, it was great meeting you today at the BNI Fairfax Country Club.
Corrie was a BNI
BNer.
Just dedicated. So you went to them for how many years?
Oh, I don't know, 6, but I was on
6 years.
I was on membership. I was
Clearly. I think you sure
the
you're not BNI management after 6 years?
I was on management.
Are you the BNI? So when we say BNI, they're a networking group that is, you pay to join them. You can go to 2 for free. I always recommend people go to the 2 for free, feel it out. You can go to the same
each
one
chapter.
Yeah.
Twice for free.
We live in a really, really populated area.
So there's a billion.
You just trip into a BNI and you're there. But go there, see what the vibe is. They all have different vibes based on how they're managed, but it does require cost to join after the 2.
Yeah.
Now, everyone that sits there is a corporate girly client. That's what you want. So we have, I went to a couple with you. It's landscapers, marketing companies. Marketing companies are great when you're a baker.
It's a lot of blue collar working, roofers, remodeling.
Carpeting.
Yeah, carpeting.
And I say a lot of the businesses are represented not by the owner, but by a salesperson.
I would say it's half and half.
Yeah, I would agree.
It
I
is,
agree.
yeah.
What other industries? I know that I went.
Oh, real estate agents, title companies.
So the interesting thing about a BNI is that if one real estate agent is in there, nobody else can go. So every BNI, you get a fresh blood.
you get a new, you can visit. So if you join, they'll have exactly one real estate agent, but a real estate agent can come and visit from another group, but you'll only have that one. But once you sign up for BNI, and I'm not saying you got to crunch your numbers to make sure, but you can go visit any other one you want to.
Endlessly? So if you're in one chapter, I can go to another chapter forever?
Yeah.
What if I'm a real estate agent in this chapter, but there's a real estate in that chapter?
There's a courtesy.
The unwritten BNI Bible.
Yeah, there is a BNI Bible.
Now, the catch of BNIs is you have to consistently show up or you forfeit your membership.
I would say, you can only miss twice in a 6-month period. Oh my God. But you can find someone to stand in for you twice as well.
I became somebody's professional stand-in. And I said, go do your job.
That's when you know the girl's going down now.
I know a lot of people panic at this, but I actually think it is extremely valuable for both your business and your own personal growth. Is every BNI, you have 30 seconds to introduce your business. Nobody is listening to you. They're too worried about their 30 seconds. And then you get a presentation once a year.
Yeah, I want to say.
And the presentation's 30 minutes?
10.
Oh, great.
Yeah. 30 minutes. I was like, wow, that's a speech. I will say, while I like to dog on BNIs sometimes, they will work if you work. If you show up.
Sounds like you just invite us to a cult.
They will work if you work. It's called a giver's gain. That truly is in the Bible.
Let's all pledge allegiance to the BNI.
If you go there and you expect someone to come up and talk to you, you're going to have a bad time. You're going to make 0 sales, and breakfast probably costed you $20.
It costed a lot.
It costed you
This is an
money.
extrovert's playground.
Almost you have to put a Sasha Fierce.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go in there. I'm going to be unlike my normal self.
Yes.
Because you can stand in a corner and you will be there. You can say, I went to a BNI. It didn't work for me.
And it didn't. And I guarantee it didn't because you were sprouting from the wall. But if you go in there and you Sasha Fierce it up, which is Beyonce's performing
alter ego,
and you can say, hey guys, I'm your favorite person today. I'm a baker, and kind of make this kind of splash. Hey, hand out a cookie.
Hand out your logo.
Eat this so you don't listen to me when I talk.
Cookie.
Yeah, things like that. And I think people are going to be wildly impressed. But again, there is a cost to join, and I don't think it's the cheapest thing in the world. But
I want to say
location
maybe sometimes over $1,000 for the year.
But one corporate order, if Corey's got me to write up an Neiman Marcus invoice for $700, $1,000, that's
And I will say, out of my years of being in BNI, granted it was probably a few years ago, bakers were not common in there.
You don't think about it.
Real estate agents everywhere.
Sprouted. I think they're grown in BNI.
Yeah. Loan officers, every group has one.
But you see that they're referral networks. So what happens is the real estate agent brings in a lead. The loan officer gets a lead. The cleaning company gets the move out cleaning.
Yeah, it's honestly based on that real estate agent. Yeah. And you want a strong real estate agent because they're going to carry the group. They have so many people that they can give business to because they're working so close with their clients.
So you want a group that has a real estate agent who's been there for a while and is consistently showing up. That's just the nature of that game. Because we're talking about a lot of small businesses.
Yeah. Another one, the chambers. Your area probably has a local chamber of commerce.
Is there a cost to join this?
Yeah, I want to say it's around the same.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot, but we're in a very high cost of living area. So our $1,000, maybe your 200.
Right. And chambers only have a required meeting once a month. And it's usually packed jam. Like if you think BNI,
I know they have the reserved chairs too.
Yeah, if BNI has 15 people, that one has 50.
Really?
For the area that we're in.
Interesting.
Yeah, so a lot more because it's a lot less time required. You're not having to go every single.
If you don't want to join the cults, you can always look on meetup.com to find local business. Again, they're not as heavily managed. Sure, you're going to get as much value. There is a trade-off to everything. You don't pay into it, neither does anybody else.
Right.
So how are they sustaining themselves? Likely not efficiently.
I went to a women's one called Polka Dot Powerhouse.
Hey, man.
Yeah, they're out. They are
Powerhouse?
We were polka dot Powerhouse. So
there's a lot of them.
There is.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you can honestly start your own networking group. It is difficult to start something new.
Much like Facebook groups, it's talking to yourself for a really long time, but a lot of it's consistency over a long stretch of just putting it in work and not getting anything out until you finally do.
Yeah.
And then people are going to look over your shoulder and be like, I can do that too. No, you can't. Good luck. It takes years.
Another way to get corporate orders is, do you go to the dentist twice a year like I do?
Fortunately, yes. And it's coming up for me.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
They always ask for cookies when I go there.
They do.
So
they love it.
Bringing cookies
the perfect
to the
funnel. You create cavities and you fix your cavities.
But that's a great way to, if you're going there anyways, that's how I got the med spa lady. I went in for my Botox appointment and my thank you gift to her was custom cookies with her logo on it. And then she placed an order.
That's annoying because Corrie only went to get Botox because she said I shouldn't. I did. I looked great. Then Corrie said I have to because I'm a twin. And then she brought the cookies. We're not going to the same Botox lady, by the way. And the lady gave her a free tox.
Listen.
I'm paying out my
$600. It was a
ridiculous.
corporate order.
Botox is ridiculous.
I got her 4 clients though with my Facebook group,
which takes a while. So we have, okay, let's recap outreach since that's kind of one of the most important. You guys noticed that we didn't lead with outreach. We had all the tools necessary. We had a content shift. We had the corporate tech ready to go. And then we implemented outreach, which includes email marketing, which is segmented. That'll grow. You go into one of these BNIs, you get 30 emails.
Yeah.
But again, keep in mind, reach out to them first, establish that connection. I would love to add you to my cookie list. I promise you I won't.
Yeah,
start
doing that.
Facebook ads to targeted business owners. I was talking to Corrie about this baker. Don't know who she is. You know who she is.
I feel like every baker on Instagram knows who she is because we all get her ads.
The ads are so phenomenally targeted. They're well done and they're perfect to think, well, I could order this for my clients.
Yeah. And you might think to yourself, like, but I'm saying I'm a baker. She's targeting business owners.
Yes,
and unfortunately, you can't like segment it super specifically.
But I imagine that every other business owner is like, this is genius.
Yeah,
and everything is super cute. And the photography is just dialed in.
Yeah.
So she's running targeted Facebook ads. Again, she's not boosting a post. Those people already follow her. She's targeting business owners.
Yeah. So if you have a Facebook page and you've really grown it with, the people ordering birthday cookies for their kids, odds are if you push the content to them, it's not going to hit like it would if you were targeting business owners. So what you can do instead of like being like, should I start another page? This is so hard. You can jumpstart the thing by creating a Facebook ad and targeting business owners, people who run pages
within the vicinity of
within your area.
Yeah. So you within Facebook ads, you can put a vicinity
zip codes.
Yeah, 25 miles out of this zip code or this location. And I know sometimes you guys are seeing ads from bakers across the country. They didn't set it up correctly.
Yeah.
They don't. It's not that they know something you don't know. They don't know something you do know.
But if you're like, but you just said the lady on Instagram, she can ship out of state, and that's why you're seeing those things.
So things are different, but the Facebook ads are a great way to knock on a door that you otherwise couldn't get to.
Just create that lead funnel. So, okay, they see your ad. They like your page. You post corporate cookies that you've done for someone. Now they sign up for your email list. And
keep in mind, Corrie, in number 4 outreach, we have 5 points, and it's not just 1 point Facebook ads, and you go run one ad that you barely targeted, and then you're like, why did I not make any money? That's not how Facebook ads work. They're part of the funnel. They are not the funnel.
Yeah. It's more
if
like
they were, then we wouldn't have to
they're top of funnel. Yeah. And you have so much work underneath it to create a conversion from it.
If everyone could create a Facebook ad and make all the sales they hoped for, we would be out of a job.
We would.
Thank goodness Zuckerberg's out. Networking groups Corrie talked about. So BNI is a popular one here, but there are many.
It is a worldwide.
Business Networking International.
Chambers, I know they're usually county specific if you have it. I know
a lot of real estate agents run networking events.
They do. You can peep around and see what you can find. I was a part of a networking group. Like I helped establish one. It was crazy.
There are local business associations, boring, been to many, could use a few cookies to wake us all up.
I know brokerage firms have to host so many knowledge base meetings with the real estate agents.
Yeah.
If you wanted to host them and do free cookies for their meeting.
You know what's interesting? I worked in restoration, property restoration for 8 years, right? You never know what these sub industries have to do. So the property restoration company wanted to reach insurance agents. So when the house burned down, they'd send people there.
Yeah.
The insurance agents are by law required to get continuing educational credits. So the restoration company had all the salespeople get certified in teaching these classes that we'd go and invite these. So now imagine, okay, you're a baker and you're like, hey, can I provide the cookies with your logo on it for your next meeting? So that means that the restoration contractor is going to have all these insurance agents who are also going to have these small businesses. But again, it takes understanding those industries to know where you can kind of creep in there.
But yeah, so if you did the brokerage one and you hosted the snacky snacks for it with the custom logos, you have all those real estate agents in front of you that all host open houses that are active because they're actively trying to learn something new to keep their license.
Yeah. This cold outreach, this kind of grassroots where you put yourself in a chair and you talk to people is difficult because a lot of introverts, a lot of bakers are introverts.
Yeah.
You literally get to be in your kitchen.
I started this in my...
Your coworker is your KitchenAid. The water cooler is your sink. So it's almost nice that I don't have to talk to people. But if you want your corporate girly era to start, what if there's a man, corporate boy era? If you want your corporate boy year to start, you're going to have to kind of say, like, put on my business hat here and go to work. And I'm going to be.
I know. I'm gonna put myself out of my norm because I want to make corporates a part of my
Okay, Sasha
future.
Fierce's Beyonce's. What's yours? Corrie A. Mason. Then we have landing on Main Street Collab, which is what we talked about with a content shift. So 1 year ago, we did the Main Street Cookie Collab. A collab is where a bunch of bakers get together. And on the same day, same time, which we have one coming up, I'll talk about in a second, you post the content, everyone engages each other. This was somebody else's in the ideas group, Lydia, I think.
Yeah.
She had gone around and recreated business brick and mortar stores logos as a cookie. And then she took a picture of the cookie in front of the business and said on her page, love this bagel shop, or I love this boutique shop. Here's everything you need to know about it. And you'll never guess who ordered from her. The boutique shop.
When we did the collab, how many people said that they got orders from that collab was mind-boggling.
Plus a lot of our audience. So this is a great when the content can apply to both of our audience, why we still are trying to get these corporate orders. Our audience is like, I didn't know that's what that place was for. Yeah. So we can still connect with our audience.
A resource to your audience and a resource now to your potential corporate client, because you're saying, hey, corporate client, I am sharing my following with you in a sweet way.
What?
Just imagine what I can do for your client.
Yeah. And so that Main Street Collab, if you say, well, I have no corporate clients, I have no content, I don't know what to do, I'm going to try doing a Main Street Collab. No, I know a lot of you guys are right now. You guys will say, no, I don't have the copyright trademark authorization to be able to use your logo. Okay, guys, you are setting up a roadblock there that I don't think
I would
needed
say
to be
out of
set
100 companies, you might have one that'd be like, where'd you get my logo?
And that would probably be an international company that actually has policies. Yeah. Now, if you're doing the local donut shop.
Listen, if we're taking Taylor Swift copyright, I don't think the local bean.
You guys are giving Disney a run for their copyright. I don't think that the local, if you have a record shop, these kind of cute boutiques, these
family-owned
thrift shops, even a local printing company, they are fighting for their life out there since print and switching over to digital.
Yeah.
Make a printing company and then say, hey, I'm going to get my business cards from you. I'm going to print this flyer with you guys next time. Okay, if you want to be like, well, my lawyer said, then don't do it. Then don't get your corporate orders. I'm not trying to tell you to break the law or something. I'm just saying you guys are making Disney, so why stop there and just do the Main Street Collab?
People
Let's get Disney as our corporate clients.
Let me make some Disney, guys.
So I would say, and I know if you guys, and if you want to check with the business and not surprise them with a cookie, go right ahead. You can do that as well.
Yeah, if you want to be like, hey, I'm actually going around showcasing.
They're going to say, please. Oh my goodness, please.
Can I bring them by? And then you guys can munch on them?
Yeah, and if they say no, then they weren't your client anyways.
Eat them in front of them. Spit them in the floor in front of the shop.
Put the cookie on the ground and step on it. Tell nobody to shop there. Number 5, Corrie had this one, yes, man, for customer retention.
What I have learned is corporate clients are busy.
Yeah.
Sometimes they have put this, a boss has put this on the shoulders of an admin, and the admin is just trying to make the boss
my
happy.
last job?
Yeah. They want yes man. So that the lady I had last time who worked for the Air Force, she was like, I contacted so many people and they were like, no, I can't. Nope. And then she hits me because I had an Eddie, and the turnaround time for that is so much quicker than doing a custom set. She ordered and she was like, can you do these hand piped? I said, I can't, but I can do them on an Eddie. And then she was like, okay, sold. Because I sent her some photos of what it would look like.
Right. But I'm just hearing everyone in the comment section of an SCM post saying, I can or can't do it. There's no in between. Yeah, there is an in between. There's printing on it.
Oh, yeah, for money.
And it's ugly. And you did it. And they needed it and they got it. And that's why we say rush fees in this. Hey, I can if I can't, but is kind of this space where these things, and now a lot of corporate people lie in this area because these ideas are like, hey, let's set this up, or, oh, I forgot to order something for this, or, oh, my event would be better if these were here. So we have corporate policies in place. In place. I hope you guys understood that. The most important part of the podcast. Have your corporate policies in place. I know we have a fun little policy doc in the main group, but that's for people with cute babies.
Yeah.
Not for corporate people who are like, hey, pay net 30, I'll send you the W-9. There's no refunds after orders placed, 10% fee for late payment. Like, this is going to be a lot less cute and a lot more money.
The thing is, also, is this next on the point? Don't make it custom.
You do not have that as a point anywhere.
Well, we were talking about it at lunch. Your custom orders have got to be simple. You're making bulk orders.
You said your custom orders have to be simple?
I mean, your business.
And that's another important.
Please jot that down. Only quality here on the podcast. We're not paid to do this. Your corporate orders have to be easy. So the lady was like, can you pipe this? I said, absolutely not. I can do your shape, your logo shape on white icing printed with an Eddie. It's not like, let's make 12 different designs. Then now you're back at custom.
I'll say one thing that you do, and this would go back to secure the tools, is at least you give them their shape of a cookie cutter. Because I know you're sending them to me to cut out the shape. So Corey's saying, no, I'm going to print this, but I'll make the cookie the shape of your logo.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to print on it.
Right. So what I've allowed them to do, it's not 50 different images. You get one image, you get one icing color, you get one shape. There's 3 customizing things that you have right there.
Uh-huh.
You can do, Neiman Marcus ordered white boots last week, pink boots this week. Hey, totally fine.
So a lot of you guys will be like, but that's so ugly. Who cares? It's not our place to judge. It's our place to cash the check and let them do what they want.
Sometimes when I'm printing, I'm like, I don't know if I'm necessarily like feeling like proud of myself for these designs. They're not my designs.
No offense to the Neiman Marcus, but of course I made a picture and I was like, bro, I just don't thumbs up.
I know, but I was almost like, should I not send it like this? But I said at the end of the day, this is exactly
that's what the client wanted.
What she ordered.
Yeah, they were featuring a new boot with a designer, and they wanted the boot, which was just a black boot. Okay,
but she didn't want the icing black because she didn't want people's mouths.
But she wanted it to be a black boot, so they airsprayed.
Airbrushed. Airspray. Yeah, you can basically say that.
Airbrushed the outline.
Some air was involved. It's some black food coloring.
And then the center's white, but on it is printed the logo. It was not. But that's exactly what the client wanted, and placed another order for the same ugly step and not pink. No. Strict guidelines. So don't, like Corrie said, kind of, I think that's what we were saying is, don't let them say, well, I want 50 different designs. No, I mean, like, hey, this is corporate. I can do this, this, and that, and the other. If they buy, great. If they don't, great.
Right. It's so fast. Like the conversations they have with a custom order, for their birthday is a lot longer because they're like, yeah, they really like, pumpkins, and I'm like, oh, what kind of garden? There's a lot of back and forth because there's so much more emotion involved in there. Corporate orders is like, no, I can't do that. I can do this. Like I had this theater that wanted a quote. It ended up not working out, but they had like weird stitching on there, like a part of their logo. I was like, can't do that, but I can do this. And she's like, oh, okay, great. But I'm telling them what I can and cannot do.
Right. Instead of this, like, back and forth, 50 different shapes. And I want to, so it's just kind of these like, hey, you want your logo? Do you want your logo with hand piping? I'm going to add this much money to that. Right. It's a lot different perspective than being that cute neighborhood baker. You're like, I'm the neighborhood baker.
I know. So, but sometimes people do want hand piped corporate orders. I'm not discounting. Eddie is coming in at $75 a dozen. That's how much my custom, a corporate custom is $90 a dozen.
I'd wager that a lot of the bakers would be like, that is overpriced. It is overpriced for your custom person.
Yeah, but
you got to understand the deep pockets of small businesses. Because, okay, this was interesting. When I worked for the restoration company, like the dude didn't want to like pay out taxes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he wasn't like subverting taxes, but he was like, yeah, if you want to take a client out, please let me foot the bill, because then we can use it towards the marketing budget. And he saw it. So that's what they're doing is like, instead of this all going to taxes, let's invest it back into the company, make these cookies, whatever the budget is.
And just to think, so she ordered 7 dozen of these boot cookies. Yesterday, it did take me from start to finish making the dough, cutting them, baking them, icing them. It took me about, I want to say, 8 hours, full 8 hours of doing all that.
And you got them paid.
So I got paid. So you can't think like, oh no, you're charging too much. That's a whole day of work. I haven't even gotten
it. It may be ugly
yet.
And you may not pay a red cent for it, but the client wanted it and that's what they get.
And you have to charge accordingly because it is taking, it's so much easier.
Well, that was printed with Eddie's. It takes less time. No, Eddie's $3,000.
Yeah. And I've used him so much this month. I'm like, wow, I'm really coming to where I'm needing
an Eddie print cartridge. This edible ink is $180.
Yeah.
So for you guys who discount Eddie cookies, good on you for the charity work, but you got to cover your costs.
Yeah. But to me, to be able to make a ton of dozens, it is easier to work with one customer, but I can pass them on savings in a different way. And that's what we were talking about with packaging.
Right. Much rather get the green and add a boo. Then we have highly efficient and effective communication with follow-up. So like Corrie said, it's immediate response times. It's keeping it pretty strict and quick responses, because this person is likely reporting to a group of other people.
And sometimes people like to write a book, like, and we can do this. So like what I'm doing with these corporate clients is I'm like, okay, you're going to hear from me a week out, just like I do with my normal clients. But like, as I'm getting the custom cutters from Heather, I'm like, just want to keep you abreast of the situation. I have picked up your custom cutter. They're like, oh, thanks for letting me know. So they are put at ease.
Yes.
So as I'm going, like they are knowing. So I had the Neiman Marcus lady was like, on Sunday, can you send me what the photo looks like? Because I had sent her the boots last time. I was like, I'm going to be honest, I haven't made your cookies yet. I said, I will have a batch ready on Wednesday.
So Corrie turned a no into a yes, but it was a compromise yes.
It was a compromise yes, but she's wanting a yes man, because I know she's sending that to the Paris, Texas company who wants to see what it's going to look like for their event.
When you bring a corporate client into your business, that's called onboarding, right? So for an example, in the day job, we are a marketing company, but I'm not a pay-per-click Google Ads company, so I brought in a subcontractor. Their onboarding is so backwards that I thought, like, here's everything you need. But as this contract is being set up, they're like, no, we need this and that and the other. And I'm like, oh my goodness, why didn't you tell me this at the beginning?
In them.
Yeah, because then they're like, well, then we need to talk to the client. No, you're white labeled. That's what we talked about. White labeling means that they'll just pipe it through me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, I wish I knew all of this when I got started. And I think with corporate clients, that's what I don't want us to talk every day. I want this to get done. I just want you to tell me that it's getting done.
Yeah. So it's like a yes man. Yeah. They don't want to be your best friend. They don't have time to be your best friend.
But they want you to make them look good. Think, how can I make this one person look great? They will come back because they have to impress their boss.
What I've also come to realize is every corporate client that I've done, I've gotten a referral from that order, from that business. Because business owners know other business owners, especially when they're local. So that Pilates club, another lady just asked about the same Pilates club.
Every corporate business needs a banker. Every corporate business needs insurance. Every corporate business probably has if they're doing leases, brick and mortars, they have a real estate person. That real estate person has all these other people. They're all connected. And you don't want to look bad in front of one. That I can guarantee you, because as much as they're easy to get money from, they're easy to leave you a bad review publicly. And you don't want to start that. So, whoa. Yikes. Then we have formal communication. Again, Corrie and I are all about the cutesy stuff when it's kind of dealing with individuals and fun and cute. But when it comes to corporate, like my day job, there's a lot less cute things. Just get it done. Is it getting it done? Is everyone happy? Are the results there? Great.
I know. I had surgery last week. I was out for 3 days. Loved it. For your body not to move for 3 days.
I haven't.
Heavenly. But I had a corporate order that was due. So I could have been like, oh, not feeling well. I can't.
You would make that person look very bad to a bunch of other people.
So what I did was like, honey, wheel me over into the cookie room. I got some cookies to make.
I know people are like, but that's not fair. It is corporate. So it doesn't have to be fair. You can actually cancel their order. Just don't ever expect to get that order or probably a lot of referrals as well.
I know. Like we said, yes, men.
Yeah.
Putting yourself out just a little bit. Yeah, I know. Life can be like a bowl of cherries someday.
Mm-hmm. Then I can hit you like a bowl.
I get sad.
And then we talked about quick turnaround. A lot of times Corrie gets these leads and they're people who have been told no by a bunch of other bakers. And so Corey's like, well, I'm going to tell you no unless you let me print it. And I can turn that around quickly. Another way, quick turnaround, Eddie, quick turnaround, printing your own cookie cutters. Mm-hmm. If essentially I'm Corey's graphic designer as well, how I'm not getting paid.
I'm going to need a PNG file or two.
So that's that quick turnaround. You're going to be able to secure a lot more last minute orders and then you can charge accordingly. But again, yeah, you may have a late night.
Yeah. But if you're like just getting your foot wet into the corporate orders, taking the last minute orders can really get you jump started in it because you're being a lot of people's angel babies by completing these. And 'tis the season of corporate orders. If you can start getting in with these people now, Christmas is coming. They are going to, every company I've worked for has made some client gift in some realm or form or fashion that they gift out during December.
My dad has a company and they forgot Christmas orders for clients, but they wanted to gift something to their top, 100 clients or something. Yeah. And they wanted a term, please come back. So and I love Cheryl's Berries cookies. I love them. I just I think they're coated in crack cocaine, I guess, because I just would take a packet of 5 of those upstairs. And
Heather ordered them and did not share. And she was like, they're almost out. Would you like 2?
You know why? Because last year I ordered 100 and then they ended up at the police station through Nate.
Yeah, because you couldn't eat them.
I wanted to eat them. I don't want to give them to people pulling me over. I just pull them, give it to them, and they pull me over. But so they ordered them, and then they all shipped out. And I was helping my mom with the addresses and getting them over to Cheryl's Berries.
Family
IT person. Yeah. So, anyways, they get my mom sends one to herself too because we like these cookies or whatever. But you could add this little note from the company. This is the only note that says where the company sent these to these clients. Like the clients did not know they were getting these, but Cheryl's Berries printed just a note from another company. Like it was like, thank you for bringing your commercial fleet vehicle to us. And that's not the company. And my mom's like, to me, did you get them to print this? The panic, the cortisol.
But tell them how much the order cost for that.
$5,000.
$5,000.
Yeah. So it's $5,000. It looks like it's from this commercial fleet company.
It doesn't say anywhere the company's name.
Absolutely. You would not know where it's from.
There's where we're saying client retention.
Yeah. So the point of contact there, I only remember her name was Nancy. And my mom's like, Nancy, like this isn't the information we provided. And she's like, I can give you $500 back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
And my mom was like, that's really not good enough. And she's like, okay, I can only refund half of it.
Yeah.
This fleet company is loving life.
Right? The fleet company's like, we had a really great year. We have no idea why. But what happens is now my parents will never, they lost $5,000 trying to only give back $2,500 for it was a rather large mistake. But I will say my parents were very last minute. Cheryl's Berries is a very last minute company. Yeah. They're willing to dig out, of course, maybe not as last minute as we thought.
True.
Which was crazy. The cookies were just phenomenal though. You know what I like Cheryl's Berries? If you subscribe to their email list after a major holiday, they fire sell anything that
didn't go.
Yeah, and it'll be a fraction of the price. If you just want the cookies,
Christmas Santa Claus
right
in
here.
January.
Give me 4th of July and December. I don't care.
You are their target demo.
Yeah, absolutely. People are like, isn't that gross? Not for me, man. I'm here to eat.
Yeah.
These are for myself.
Another benefit for corporate orders randomly. Pre-sales. Love them to death, but you're dealing with maybe 25 to 50 different little tiny clients. That's a lot of admin work, making sure everyone has
every email back and forth, every pickup back and forth,
every person that's late. Hey, every reminder
back and forth.
That's why corporate orders, you're dealing with one person. So even if it's net 30, where you get paid 30 days after it's still, if you can have your funds good, where you can cover the cost for the 30 days, it's still worth it because you're dealing with one person for a major order with a simple design.
I'd wager this, throwing it out there. I would only pay net 30 if the due date was in 60 days. I wouldn't render services before I got paid. Would you?
I have not yet.
All right. That's a risky one. If you had a relationship with them, that's different, but this is a first timer. If they were a bigger company, I'd be fine.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't know. Got to cover your bases. So then we have point 6, and this is the last point, is a play on aftermath. It's the aftermarket. So what do you do to market to them after? One, creating a post about the company. Corrie and I were talking about this specifically, not so much Neiman Marcus, specifically with the local Botox spa lady. Turning around, I know Corrie has a Facebook group, but even on her page, how many followers that
3,000
aren't bakers are on your page?
100.
So turning around and saying to your audience, hey guys, I had a great time learning more about this business. Here's the cookies I gave to them, or here's a picture of them holding these cookies, and here's everything this Botox clinic offers. You know, a lot of us have forehead wrinkles. If you're bakers, you do.
Yeah.
And then what's going to happen is your following is going to be like, not only do I get cookies from this person, but I also get a shout out to their local page.
Yeah.
So they're going to have more incentive to give you a call, because not only do they get the cookies, they also get essentially free marketing.
Yeah.
But then to your audience, you're able to introduce them to a business that they didn't know about. So I like that, creating a post about the company. It allows you to, you know, just like the Main Street Collab, connect with your own audience, connect with this new audience, and then it's content. And we got to stay consistent with content. Then we have adding them to a corporate email list. Again, when you start email list segmentation, it always starts really small, but it will make it strong. So we're going to say to the client, thank you so much. I would love to add you to my email list for upcoming holiday offerings I have for my corporate clients. And that's how you're going to build that email list up. Again, the BNIs, the networking events, that's a great thing. But these clients that have already bought from you, even stronger. And we want to stay apprised, because a lot of times you may get their emails when they get fired or when they leave the company. Those emails are getting forwarded to their replacement. Right. Oftentimes, if they're doing it correctly. Yeah. And that person you'll be able to reach, because once that point of contact leaves, oftentimes you're kind of like orphaned as these suppliers. Then we have upselling on corporate offers. So a lot of times, if you do corporate clients, they're also doing team building activities. Bane of my existence. Hated going to those. But imagine you say, hey guys, actually we're doing corporate DIY kits
for Christmas parties.
Yeah, would you like us to, let's say it's a remodeler, would you like us to do a hammer?
Every
I can print your
company
logo.
does a weird Christmas holiday party at the local ale house. I always see them there.
I went to a client's Christmas party, and you know that they do those games?
Yes.
They had everybody tie a balloon to their ankle and had like a string on it. So it wasn't... And your job, of course, these are a bunch of grown adults. You had to go stomp on the balloon of somebody else's balloon ankle.
Making sure no one stomped on yours.
So these adults are they also look like a herd of chickens, right? Because they're all like,
I know.
And they're trying to stomp on these balloons while keeping their one leg hiked up, but they need to stomp with the other leg. And it's wild. But okay, I would rather do a DIY kit.
Yeah, I would.
Why they talked about whoever did best in the company. So you can also upsell them on that. What are other things that you could upsell if they do corporate orders?
I would say you could offer a discount and not, you're like, you just done a discount. Packaging, I told you the dollar spot had these dollar boxes that fit 4 dozen. I'm saving on packaging just because of the amount of cookies that need to go in there. It's not like it's a custom box, You
save on a ton of time. Like we said, in the time of having these just the thought of 12 different designs is ridiculous amount of time. Yeah. But now when we're doing Eddie, granted, we're still priced according to him. But when we do bulk printing, you do bulk ingredients ordering, when you do bulk packaging,
one and color then you do icing, I'm not mixing for an hour.
Yeah. And then you have only one point of contact you're dealing with, and you're getting paid a large sum up front. Again, we're all like pay before before pickup. You're able to save a ton of time, so you can offer percentage discounts as long as your cost and profit are still baked into there.
Yes. Baked in there. I see what you know. I will say, also with custom orders, people are like, I really, really wanted these 5 shapes. I'm like, I have 0 of those.
Yeah.
You can't just do it on a plaque, but with these corporate clients, I'm like, okay.
I've seen, they're all circular. One of yours is a D, but that was it.
I know.
You did do an emblem, which was a really boring order, but you wanted to at least add a little bit of customization. Yeah. So again, one color, Eddie print, but we did do a very easy cutter to print.
So you think if you did order a custom cutter, $5-6, right? Granted, you probably won't use.
I've been trying to let Corrie. Did you give them the cutter to the boot? So when I print Corrie's cutters, I've been adding a little notch that she can tie it to the packaging, but she's not doing it. But whatever.
It's because why is the filament bright?
That's your colors.
Oh yeah, it's
literally it's your branding.
It's because it had unstuck a little bit from the print bud.
Listen.
Okay.
Filament is crazy. And I had no idea that the changing of the temperature outside, filament is what's the opposite of hydrophobic, where it loves water?
Quinone.
Nope. Thank you for that random word.
Hydrophobic.
Hydro-loving. Anyways, it absorbs moisture in the air. Filament does, which causes it to crack. You'd think the opposite, right? You think brittle is dry. Yeah. No. Brittle is too moist, so you can get these dehydrators. But okay, I'm like, we're fine. I'm in a house. No. We got the first cool day. I go to print, and the whole machine is like, filament is stuck in filament holder. I had to disassemble the machine to get the filament out of there. So no, I'm not switching out the filament. We're going to use these rolls till they're dead. Then I have 50 other rolls that need to be dehydrated. But you know what Bamboo offers now? They launched it last week. A filament club. You pay $100 and you get like 30% off. Yeah. Anyway, so we have upselling. One thing I want to add, upselling corporate, is team building activities, like a private team cookie decorating class.
Yeah.
Those will be popular probably only around Christmas time, but that would be an interesting, fun idea for the poor office admin who has to manage the Christmas party. That's where
we get a lot of the people coming to us like, we need a corporate class.
Right. So you could do DIY kits if they want to save some money, or you could do a private class. But again, you're going to be charging a lot more. You stop thinking in the mindset of a woman with 5 kids.
Yeah, stop thinking that if I charge too much, they might say no.
If you don't charge enough, they might say yes.
It's not great quality. That's true.
So that takes us.
I wish I didn't.
Do you want to say it?
No, you got it.
So let's recap it real quick and then we'll close this out. Number one, your content kind of has to shift first. Because if you say, hey, buy from me, and they go and it's like babies, you're like, oh, that's
And I want to say, when you're doing corporate cookies, you're not going to get as many likes. If you love to do the latest technique and to get a ton of likes from it, you won't be getting that. You're what's
you want dollars? Or do you want likes?
Yeah, like a corporate logo printed, it's not going to bring you followers.
No, definitely not other bakers. That's
no, right.
But we're not focused on bakers. Remember, our target audience is boring corporate.
I know.
We love those people. We love people who don't know that there's other options than the like button. Like, listen, I need you guys to long press, give me a heart, give me a laugh. I don't want the like. I want the laugh.
Yeah, when I do something really funny, it's like 50 laugh reacts and 1 like. I like to
take your like and take it with you. I'd rather us not be friends on Facebook. The worst thing is when somebody likes it, I'm like, oh, you just don't know that there's other reactions. And then they react to something with a laugh react, like, oh, you did know. You did know that
just aren't funny.
You were not funny. Then we have secure the tools, airbrush, Cricut, Eddie, 3D printer, a little bit of a heads up investment, but you're going to be able to cover these costs a lot faster than trying to get Eddie paid with customs, right?
Yeah.
Nail down corporate tech, custom emails, invoicing software, get that EIN set up, get an accountant if you need to, get the W-9 ready to go. You can keep that as an attachment, and then get insurance, outreach, email marketing that's segmented. We have LinkedIn, Facebook ads that are actually targeted, not just boosted posts, networking groups, and the Main Street Collab, again, to generate that content. Number 5, be a yes man. You have strict corporate policies. You have strict guidelines, 1 color, 1 print, 1 shape. You have corporate orders that are easy to create in batches, large batches, because they will be highly efficient and effective communication with extensive follow-up. Here's where your order is. Here's what's progressing. Here's when I will drop them off. I know a lot of these you drop off because it's a corporate order.
Only because it's
right. Because it's at the mall. And then you have formal communication, a lot less cutesy, a lot more to the point, and a lot shorter. Something you can quickly read and turn around and say, this is where this is at.
Yeah.
And then we have quick turnaround times, which you're able to do with something like an Eddie and a personal 3D printer. And then 5, creating the aftermarket. 6, creating a post about the companies and introducing them to your audience, adding them to a corporate email client list, upselling on corporate offers like DIY kits and team building classes, and then offer pricing incentives for recurring, because you're able to now because you're saving with all these bulk purchases. Plus, you should be charging so much that it wouldn't really touch you.
Would not touch you.
Okay, tell us about the Vendy Blendy.
The Vendy Blendy. It's a 24-hour sale. First off, you want to search Vendy Blendy 2023 on Facebook. It's a Facebook group. You are going to request to join. You are not going to be let in. Why? Because the Vendy Blendy takes place for 24 hours starting November 24th. You get 24 hours to shop vendors. We have the most vendors we've ever had this year of only the 3 years that we've done this. It's bigger and better every single year.
Bigger, faster, stronger.
Think of your favorite things. Cookie cutters, baking shirts, organization, stencils, STLs, baking classes. I think maybe recipes might be on there.
I don't. Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Beads by Bella. I did a video on her
You're
today. That's why I know
wearing
I'm
that
wearing
on your thumb.
So many things. They're all at a discount. That is the catch. Vendors have to offer a discount to join.
Yeah, this is the opposite of a mall, in which case, essentially, they're paying you to come by giving everything has to be 20% off or more. And then every vendor has to pay to even be involved, which all their money goes into a pool of giant giveaways, stuff that you otherwise, well, it's kind of the stuff we mentioned here. We're giving away 2 bamboo carbon printers, which is the printer that I have. It has changed my little life.
Yeah.
It is, I found ludicrous mode on the printer.
Crazy.
Oh my goodness.
Printing
Corrie came into my office today and she's like, what is this? I said, it's a diagram for bakers on how cutter sizing works.
Brace yourself.
Brace
guys.
yourselves,
You gotta get
guys.
a little lesson.
Brace
I went through it myself.
and then at the end of that day, at the end of the 24 hours, it disappears and the rule becomes you're not allowed to speak of it.
We don't speak of the
I actually, with prejudice, delete every Vendy
know.
Blendy post. I go back through and delete every post I made for the last 3 months that talks about that event.
Heather does.
I do.
It's
and then people are like,
bizarre.
it's like it never happened. And they're like, yeah,
I know.
That's exactly. It's because it's so much that I don't want to hear the word after.
Yeah.
I don't
It's because
know
you
how-
go so hard and then I'm like, I'm sick of it.
Yeah, let me get into Christmas mode.
But how
Bye-bye.
many vendors in total do we have this year so far?
So right now, I have 2 people in the process of signing up. Actually, I have 3 people in the process of signing up. Actually, I've talked about the box lady. 4 people in the process of signing up. I have 39 people already signed up, and I'm working on 2 more.
Wow.
The 2 more people have confirmed that they're interested, and we've gone through a lot of emails, so I'm going to put a little pressure on them.
Say we're coming to the
So
deadline.
I'm going to find another one of you,
Yeah,
and it's
I
not going to
know.
be you. So I'm thinking when it all washes out, we'll probably be just over 40 vendors at 20% off or more. Almost every vendor is doing a door prize.
Let's go through. I want you to say the name of the vendor and the discount percentage off.
Okay, hold on.
You can
All
do a
right.
speed round.
Speed round. I have this pulled up. Give me 2 seconds.
1,
Nope.
2
And a half.
and a half.
Okay, I gotta find that correct email. There you are. Where is my email? Keep talking while I'm.
Where
looking.
is her email? I
It's
did
not
do
what
it.
I wanted you to
I
do.
did do. That's all I know to do. My son was like, "Why do you always sing things after I say something?" I want to be like, "Because I'm not listening."
Right.
And
Okay, sorry. Do I say the Chua Mats lady just submitted?
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Hold on. Can you talk, man?
Okay,
You're making me
like you
nervous.
just
You're,
said
like, on your
You just said
phone.
like I thought you were going.
I'm breaking into a sweat.
I
got the list up. You're like checked out. There's we got dead air. We got dead air.
Frozen Cray.
Okay, we have Courtney Carey, 20% off. Let me just squish this all so I can see it real quick.
Say Bakery Tico, not like their
Bakery
name.
Tico. Okay, Bakery Tico, 20% off. AE Core backers, 30% off. The Cookery, 20% off cutters, stencils, backers, packaging, and all Cookery branded items. Brighton Cutters, 30% off. Wonderland Cutters, 20% off. One Smart, Sweet Pink Olive, 20% off. One Smart Cookies and Crafts, 20% off. Sweet Cutter Co., 20% off. Blue Honey Cutter Co., 20% off. Dare to Bake, 20% off. Bobby's Cutters, 20% off. Sugar Dash Co., 25% off because they know how to do it. Busy Bakers, 20% off, 50% off classes. Cookie Art Market, 20% off. Sugar Dot Cookies, 25% off. Mulberry Treats, 20% off. The Baker Tree, 30% off. Kitchen Creations, 20%. Miss Cookie Packaging, 20%. Lolly Bees Custom Cutters, 25%. Homemade Heartfelt, 20%. Equinox Pastry and Supply, 23%. I like what they did there. Beads by Bella, who Corey was just talking about, 20%. Marley's Monsters, 20%. The Pink Piggy, 25%. Love that. Sweet Bite App, 25%. Go you. Cute Cookie Kits, 20% off, plus free shipping over $35. I love that. Boutique Stamps and Gifts, 20% off. Cookie Cutters by Nori, 23% off. Love that. My Two Cookies, 20% off. Whist Confection, 25% off. Yay. The Sweetest Tears Stencil, 20% off. Sweet Label Shop, 20% off. More Decor, 20% off the entire shop. 30 to 40% off teas, 30% off digital downloads, and a free cutter with every purchase. She gets it. Tasty Tin, she is back in at 30% off. How fun. Bees Baked Art Supplies, 20% off. Rona's Cookies and More, 20% off. The Cookie College, it'll oddly be 50% off. I'll explain that more. And then our pending vends are Chua Mats Lady, The Bakety Bake, she says she's in. I just need to get them to submit the form. I'm talking to a lady who does cookie cards, digital downloads, all of them, like how to store the cookies and stuff like that. And then the two I'm working on, Got Print that's who we print all our corporate stuff on.
I have begged. I've made videos. I said, don't. Tom Cruise wants you to be a part of it.
You did. You laid it on real thick. So I'm going to do the final pitch that I'm going to turn around and find somebody else, although they've tentatively said yes. And then Box Genie is mostly absolutely yes. They just need to get it approved because these are a little bit bigger companies. And they said they wouldn't listen to me at the door prize, just like give a free and clear gift card. They want to do $150 off of $500. I said, hey, whatever you want to do. Just been doing this for 3 years, but whatever. Okay. So that is what we're looking at now.
Because we have so many vendors, we now need pendies.
Choppers.
So if the way that we can kind of utilize, bullying these shops.
Yeah.
We're not even a bullying group.
No.
But we are bullying vending.
So we got the shops. Now we need so we got the vendies. Now we need the spendies.
Yeah.
So that is going to be requesting the Vendy Blendy 2023 group on Facebook. You'll pen forever until midnight on November 24th. That's the beginning of it.
Yeah.
The night sleep one, you get in, and then the next night sleep one, you get out.
Right. Yeah. So if you can join the pen. And I know you're like, that seems so far away. It is. But it's coming towards us. But we need your numbers.
October 17th.
It's a month away. My birthday is also But we need you to get in there just to pen.
You don't even have to shop.
You don't buy anything.
Just have eyes on the look. I got some funny memes coming your way about the Vendy Blendy, so look out for that.
Me and Heather are annoying the pants off you guys with her.
I said to the vendors, some vendors are like, hey, this, I'm wanting to launch. Would this be? I said, 100. You tell me where you get $150 for some two people to spam to 43,000 others. You tell me, I would like to pay them.
I annoy myself.
Yeah, I'm kind of annoyed by it too. That's why I deleted it. So that is the Vendy Blendy. That'll be November 24th. As we get closer to November, we'll really ramp up talking about that. Really want you guys to feel like you're missing out. FOMO and buy it, eat. Okay, you want to talk about the Cookie College?
The Cookie College is the number one place. Listen. Number one place.
Who validated that claim? Okay.
The number one place voted on by me to grow your bakery business. Whether you're just starting out and you're like, you know what, I'm just starting. Or if you are like, I'm getting ready to open my brick and mortar, my dream brick and mortar, the Cookie College is for you. And you're like, but I don't really do sugar cookies. I'm more of a macaron baker. Listen, the courses aren't about baking. It's literally about marketing your bakery. So if it goes into the oven, it can be marketed by the Cookie College. We're working on efficiency in your business. No more wasted time searching for your password of your login for Canva that you forgot. We're working on efficiency, time saving, working smarter, working
harder.
The thing is, when you join it, there is a lot of free stuff. A lot of the roomies like to give free things. They like to give free tips. I give free photos to help you. You have the cookie class kits done for you. You can't just let that sit in front of you and be like, okay, now go to work for me. It will take a little of you putting into practice what you learn.
Well, okay, let's not do the free stuff. Let's do the hardworking stuff. The things that we talked about in the podcast today, custom domain, tell you how to do that. Custom email, walk you through how to do that.
Setting up a LinkedIn business page,
Square account, I can tell you how to do that. And that is all the stuff you would need to become a corporate girl. I know we do have an Eddie course in there, but you can actually watch that on YouTube for free as well. But how to do that is what we talk about in there, because that's the goal, that you make dough making dough, and hopefully more of it.
Right. I know one time I saw a comment, it was like, the twins really commercialized it. I don't like it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
The problem is, me and Heather don't do things for funsies. We are not hobby people. We are more like, let's get in there, rustle some feathers, make some cashish.
Yeah, let's make this. We succeed when you succeed, and when you succeed, you pay us, and then we succeed, and then we are able to make you succeed more. Yeah, so no, this isn't kumbaya, let's hold hands and do this all for free. This is a money-making venture, and we need to help you make more money. That way you pay us to make more money. It's one of those. That's why I know my custom bakes went to a monetization business model this past week. And I know people are like, well, I wasn't paying those for free. You better hope you start paying because it won't be free for long. It will shut down.
I know.
So when things cost money, and I joined a local car club, not because I necessarily wanted to join, but I want to pay into people putting time and effort in. Because if you don't, they will quit.
Yeah.
So you got to make
get quality stuff when there is a little, like when someone has something that's waking them up in the morning, like a paycheck, their lights turning on.
Likes can only get you so far. Last I talked, Navy Fed was like, we don't have like to dollar conversion.
Are you sure? Because I have 109,000 on the page.
You guys let me buy something? So that is the Cookie College. Yes, it is actually $76 a month, but for the Vendy Blendy, we will go back to our grandfather pricing for 24 hours only.
Listen. Only.
Yes, only. And then once you're in the original price, and when we launched, and the college was a lot smaller and there was a lot fewer resources, was $68. Once you sign up there, I cannot raise it on you. That's the restriction of the platform, the payment processor. Yeah. So get one over on us.
So as long as you are enrolled.
An active membership of that day you sign up, I cannot raise the price. Yeah. The minute you cancel, welcome to 76.
But listen, 1201, 1202. If you're like, oh my God, I was eating turkey.
I was in a turkey coma.
And I wasn't able to click the button. I'm sorry.
Yeah. The whole beauty of the Vendy Blendy and the Cookie College grandfathered rate, we'll also be doing a couple other things, is that limited time offer. And it's truly limited.
And I know people are like, but I'm going to be with my family. Listen, I hate looking at my family for 24 hours. Mm-hmm. I have to go to the bathroom sometime. Bring your phone in with you.
They don't got to know. It goes on in there. It's fine. So that is the Cookie College. You can learn more about it at thecookie.college.com. We have 5 memberships currently. The Cookie College being the all-inclusive. It includes everything we offer. The Cookie Class Kits, everything you need to teach a cookie class. You just order the cutters, you make the dough, and add your body. And then
maybe a little icing.
Oh yeah, icing would be good. Then we have the Baker's Business Basics. It's just the foundational courses to get you up to where the Cookie College kind of expects you to be. And then we have the digital downloads, and then my own baby child, the $2 transfer club. Again, those transfers are included in every other membership above it, but the $2 transfers, you get 80 transfers. I'll have 100 by the time we get to the Vendy Blendy.
You better get on it. You got 20 to do.
I created
20 days.
I have to just do the letter, the alphabet.
Oh, that's true.
26. So that is that. Now moving along
to the sponsors while you look up if there are anyone text messages. That's why I didn't feel bad giving away my Gmail address. No one's going to email. No one texted in.
You are so funny.
Sponsor number 1, AE Core Backers, will also be part of the Vendy Blendy. We have been with them for 3 years. I can't believe they haven't gotten annoyed of us now. They still haven't, thank the Lord. AE Core Backers is a food safe backdrop company. It makes your home turn into that photo set that you love to double click on Instagram. Mm-hmm. It can make your house marble. You can do bright white. They have dark colors. They have bright colors. It's really just awesome backers that are food safe, matte, waterproof, scratch resistant, rigid. I use them for all my photos. A bunch of people in the group use them. If you wanted to test them out, the Vendy Blendy is where to test them out. But if you want to be guaranteed to get your faves, you can get 20% off. Well, it's not 30%, but you'll be guaranteed to get yours before it's sold out by using the code SUGARCOOKIE at checkout on aecorebackers.com.
I know she says she's fully stocked, but last year she did sell out of the fan favorite Polar White.
She did, but now there's a new fan favorite.
What?
Matte White Finish.
Oh, she just had us coming and going. Next Vendy. No, not Vendy. Woo, got Vendy on the brain.
Vendy.
Next sponsee is Bakety Bake, who is also a Vendy. She just said she is in. This will be the first time.
I've never seen her offer 20%
off. Yeah. So she offered you guys 10% off, which I announced it in the group a couple hours ago. And people were like, I just ordered, but I will be ordering again.
I will order. I just ordered.
Yeah. But you're going to use it. Because you got these corporate orders because you listen to the Baking It Down podcast.
Girl.
So Bakety Bake has a royal batch meringue powder. A lot of people like it. They try it once and then they're a fan of it. It has everything you need in your life. What is that?
Except for husband. That's for you. It has vanilla flavoring in it, corn syrup. It's powdered corn syrup, so all you do is add water and to rejuvenate it. Same. Diet Coke, really. And last, it has white food coloring already in it. I know some people are like, hey, I have experienced more bubbles using Royal Batch. I'm going to tell you, if you're not spending some time helicoptering, like it's not 1, 2. and then tie it up.
Corrie has me coptering.
You need a helicopter enough where you're taking a little bit of flight.
I think you need to be worried that it'll pop.
Also,
what I do,
I know. What I also do is sometimes I make the icing a night before, so it has time to set all night. The bubbles will raise to top. You pop them back.
You know what I saw people use this little vibrating.
It's called a denture vibrating thing. It's for
what
when
is an unsexy name.
I know.
What is it for?
When you put in the molds.
For your dentures?
Well, for your retainers, anything that you're doing at the dentist office, it shakes the bubbles out of the mold. Oh. So it's just a vibrating machine that works the bubbles out. Same with your royal icing. But
so I saw people do that, and it causes the bubbles to rise a lot faster.
Yeah, if you wanted to do that, you can get it on Amazon. I usually smack the bowl on the counter a few times.
You are violent. How much does it cost, the denture machine?
I don't know. I don't have one.
Oh, why not?
I'm still banging on the granite countertop.
Right, okay. And then last but never least is Eddie, the edible food printer. Again, we talked about him because he is kind of designed perfectly for corporate orders. Yeah. You can incorporate him into customs. And I know a lot of people do it. Like, let's say if you had a baby outfit, what's that called? A onesie? What is on your phone?
Sorry. You keep going because we have a new Vendy. Go on with that.
Anyways. Then Eddie can print that baby pattern, and then you can pipe the little cute stuff. Now, we talked about Eddie in corporate capacity. I see most people investing in Eddie for corporate orders. He doesn't work. You got to work him at $3,000, direct-to-food printer.
I want to tell you about Eddie, though. They're constantly doing updates. It's not just buy it and then you're on your own. One, they have a support group. So if you have questions, they're there for you. If you buy the Eddie printer, you have a 1-hour one-on-one video conference session with someone over at Primera.
And they're tech support guy. Like, it's not just like a salesperson. It's somebody who's like, hey, listen, let's do this.
Let's do this. Let me test it. Look, this is something people are using. And that's within your language, too. So they ship worldwide, and those are also in your native language, which is super awesome. Lastly, because they're constantly sending updates, they're always making it better. It's not like they're like, the people who buy it, we kind of, don't care about them more. We're only trying to get new clients. No, they want you to be happy because you're their biggest marketing.
You sell an Eddie because let's say you get out of baking, they'll honor that 1-hour training session for the next user.
Yeah. And
then they have a hot swap policy if you want to add that on there. And then they have a lot of new features. And I know they push this out in their group. If you haven't updated to the latest software update, please, please, please do it.
I will say, I've updated.
You did? It was meant for trays, custom trays.
Oh, yeah. 0 misprints.
That's what they said. Please update this.
This will be a good one.
Wow. Yeah. So there's some with any cool product, you get a third-party aftermarket sellers, and these are these people who create these custom trays where you can print on macarons, you can print on little tiny transfers, you can print on burgers, whatever.
Yeah, super cool. So you're in a treat for Eddie. I've become
you're in a treat for Eddie.
You're in for a treat with Eddie.
Got it.
I have loved Eddie this entire month.
Okay. You remember when we used to have to say a sentence, but you said every other word, and then we had to form a complete sentence? Let's just tell them how to join the group.
How to join which group? Okay,
you start.
If
you
would
like
to
learn
more
about
Eddie,
you
can
join
the
Primera
Facebook
group
called
Eddie.
Eddie Printer Users Grow.
DM.
I feel like we knew exactly what the
I know. We had to go with something. It wasn't. We did that too. Okay, we have some text, but this text.
Listen, new Vendy for the Blendy, Lizzie Robren.
Yes, she's the card printing lady
with Cookie or Prince.
Yeah.
She will be on there.
Yeah, she's got an Etsy shop. She just sent me a book. I want to read about it in a second when I get off of this, but she is launching right before the Vendy Blendy, and this is her big kickoff. Which the stuff's really cute. It's stuff, the cards you include with how to keep.
I'm on there. Cookie Care Card, the fall bundle. So these are themed. DIY kit instructions, the fall bundle. Halloween cookie instructions. DIY kit instructions for Halloween. Oh, she has Christmas DIY kits. Lot of cards, lot of mini ones that you can do. I will say right now she's running 25% off on her shop if you would like to join in on that.
I like it. So she's just getting started. That will be oh my goodness, she's offering 50% off.
Oh my God. Wait.
Wonderful. So moving on to text, and I'll add her to the list. She just came Meredith asked this, and it's so funny because this is today's topic. So Meredith, well timed. I swear I did not read this before she sent it. She said, happy Tuesdays, ladies. Texting in again, and this time with a question. What content buckets would you recommend for bakers on LinkedIn looking to start a page and increase corporate orders? So far as brainstorming these, but I'm not feeling too confident on them, and I'm not sure it's enough. Bucket 1, cookie content, including logo cookies, decorating kits for team building, classes like she wrote the podcast. Wow. Nice. We heard, our ears were itching, Meredith. And we heard you. And she says local news, business news, fun events. What else? As always, thank you so much, Heart Meredith.
Take it away.
Content buckets. So I really like what you did with the logo cookies. Now, again, you can kind of incorporate that Main Street collab concept and say, here's a corporate cookie and here's everything you need to know about the business. You can post on LinkedIn both as your business page and then share to your personal page or post as your personal page and share back to your business page, kind of cross-pollination there. I really like what you said about the local news. If you're going to a networking event, feature a write-up about the networking event. Nothing is more confusing to people than whether or not they should join a networking event.
Yeah.
So you don't want to push people toward a networking event you didn't like, but one that you did like the chambers. Those are a great one to feature. I always, Corrie and I, when we do these things, we'll bring one nice camera and take a couple nice photos to be like, here's the vibe, here's how it went, here's everything you need to know.
And a lot of business owners will come and try to get their photos.
Absolutely.
From those.
Absolutely. Other content I like, you said fun events, not that corporate America isn't fun, but those BNI events or a local list of things you can do is kind of an interesting idea. Yeah. What else content buckets for corporate orders?
For corporate orders, I would say, I made Heather go to this local bake shop. I've gone to the med spa, taking videos. So InShot, it's on your phone. We're all using iPhones except for Heather. So we have crystal clear things except for Heather. She likes to watch crystal clear things, so she'll watch the video. But making a video, I try to make them exactly 1 minute long and showcasing the parking lot. A lot of people have anxious when it comes to parking, showcasing the place we were at was called Dillingham Square. So they want to know, okay, this is Dillingham Square.
In Dillingham Square?
Behind Waters End Brewery.
Yeah. So and then here's what we got. Here's your offerings. Here's a look at the menu, even if we're not ordering off of it. Things like that featuring the businesses are a great idea. Now, Corrie did this post the other day, and she gave it as a freebie photo in the college. She did a comparison photo of what hand-piped versus printed look like, and the differences that a corporate client can expect between the two, which is hey, quicker turnaround time, larger scale orders here, and then here's the difference of what they look like.
Piping is not as perfect as printed. It's a lot of P's there. Piping, perfect, printed.
Pay me. So that is a great one. So when Meredith's asking about content buckets are also called content pillars, it's what you pull from. So Meredith, I know she's talking about on LinkedIn, but I would introduce one of those content pillars to your Facebook page, the Main Street collab being the primary one, since it introduces and connects both the business of which you're going to tag that business page. And also, if you have a point of contact there, drop in that first name. And it was so great working with Stacy, who works at this, because we want to make sure that Stacy, they see it. Yeah, we want to make sure she gets that bonus.
I will say in local groups, sometimes you have sales days or they have sales once a month or a comment section for sales. Instead of showcasing that baby shower set you did last week that you're absolutely in love with because you got florals right on it, I would tag the person that ordered the corporate order, tag their business, add their address, add their website. So what you're doing, you might not be getting the praise and worship session when it comes to your roses, but you are going to get into the eyes of someone who could potentially place more orders with you, share your stuff, comment on your post because you're really scratching their back. So you're probably guaranteed at least one comment from them.
I also feel like they always share it back.
I would absolutely.
When they share it back to their page, you go back and you comment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then,
with your page.
Go and then as yourself. So you get twice. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do. Definitely scratch your back and then scratch your back again. Moving on to another text message. Hey, Corrie and Heather, my name is Kaylee with Desert. No. It's 2 S's. 2 S's. Because you want two scoops.
Helping.
Yes, a dessert. Desert Valley Sweets in Arizona. Arizona is thrown off by the desert.
Desert Valley Streets in Arizona. Your cookies are dry.
I'm listening to the podcast and I'm super behind on it. Oh, maybe she'll listen to this in 2 years and she'll be like, wow, that was my question. So I don't know if you guys even still do voicemails and text messages. She has not a lot of faith.
Oh, no.
We don't do voice messages.
We only don't do them when they don't come in.
But if you do, I apologize if you've already gotten this question, but my question has to do with pricing and not in the way that you'd think. I've seen a couple other cookiers price their cookies per cookie. So like example, they'd be like, this cookie's $5, this cookie's design is $6. And other cookiers who say my base price starts at this much per dozen. My question is there a difference in pricing between those two different models? And would you recommend one over the other? And if you would recommend one over the other, can you explain why you'd recommend doing it that way? I hope that makes sense. And I apologize for the long message, but I couldn't bear to hear my own voice on a podcast. So here you go. Follow-up question to that question. If you do recommend pricing out per dozen, and it's funny because she knows exactly what I'm about to say, do you recommend doing it in line items on the invoice where it says how much each cookie is, or do you just give them like an overall price to say, all right, here's 2 dozen, it's going to be this much? Sorry. Thanks again for everything that you do. And my favorite twin is da 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 da, and then it cuts off. So it's so funny. In the main group, I think just yesterday, somebody had asked, do you tell people this is $5 a cookie, or do you tell people this is my price per dozen? Yeah. I know what you're going to say.
All right.
Price per dozen.
Yeah.
The reason being, $5 for a cookie is mind-boggling to me.
That when it's a pricing psychology. When you price something like, hey, this is $6.25 a cookie, it's hard to say a single item because it's easier to be like, I just went to the dollar spot and I can get a whole tray for $3. And you're telling me one tiny cookie is worth $6.25?
Yeah. When we think of like one cookie is $5, we're thinking that's a whole Starbucks, which is also ridiculous overpriced. But think about it, even in terms of something as cheap as Oreos, they do not price per the single Oreo and then multiply how many Oreos are in the sleeve that I just ate.
I would hate if they did that. There's 50 that you just ate.
You ate 50-cent cookies. So what I do is recommend a price per dozen, because what it forces people up is to that dozen pricing. If you price per single and then you tell them, but I only sell them by a dozen, you created a lot of pricing objections and you're still saying the same thing.
Yeah.
So when you say my dozen start at, you're communicating, I will not take a half dozen or single cookie order. A lot of us don't want to do that anyways. And then you can say, and then when they start at that, your designs are going to increase the price. So you already communicate that here, tire kickers, there's no getting it any cheaper than this. And then you you move from that stigma of like, whoa, $6 for something I'm going to eat, and it's just one. Yeah, we don't want to necessarily compete with, like, you go to Panera and it says $3.25 a cookie. It looks like a 3.25 cookie and it's delectable, but they know that I'm coming there to eat lunch, right? And that's what I'm coming there. I'm going to eat that and I'm going to leave. I like to have my dessert, okay? But when we're doing these, which are often given as gifts, when you're talking about custom orders, we want to talk about the price per dozen. We want to make that harder math to do. Again, you know me, make the math difficult to do in your head. And that way we don't think about it so much.
True. Sometimes when someone orders a ton more than 1 dozen, I'll be like, my dozen start at $75, which makes it a total investment of blah. Like, because I want to...
Do you use the word investment? How sly.
I have for my corporate orders.
I like a total investment. You'll be the best person ever.
You're investing in your business.
So she also added, how do you price it out on the invoice? Now, what I like to do, again, is follow the same mentality and say 1 dozen this much if they order 5 dozen. So I have 1 dozen at the rate of 70 times 5. That's what it's... I'm not going to have... 1 dozen divided by 12 is this small number, multiplied by 4 dozen is this big number. It's
We're
again
not
too much.
algebra kids.
Almost if I could never have the client imagine what a single cookie costs, that's the goal.
Yeah.
I want them to see the gift. It's not like when you go to DSW, which I live at, and you buy a pair of shoes. They're not like the left shoe is this and the right shoe is this, and together.
Just thinking about DSW.
Are we twins? Are we twins? Don't have a twin.
People were like, why did one person just say that very slowly?
So those are some great questions. We have one last question, but I'm going to save it to next week.
Thank
Don't
you.
feel confident that anyone's going to text in to 571-556-56.
4.
Okay, that was extreme.
Because you were going to
go.
5,
7,
1,
5, 6, 5, 6,
4.
People are like, what are they saying? But if you wanted to text in with a vendor you would like us to harass,
we can announce them on the burger.
Yeah, and then we can send the League of Minions who want deals.
If people start to stop listening to the podcast, are we still... We're going to be talking to 2 people out there.
I'll be honest, our numbers are way down. So I think they've already started stopping.
Guys!
Yeah, and then all those people made those great posts in the group saying, don't sleep on the podcast.
How low?
4, barely.
barely?
Yeah, we're usually at the sixes, guys. $6,000 a weekend.
What are you doing?
What do you want from us?
Quality content, we don't have it.
No, just subpar content. Okay, so what are we at now on the thing that we're
Do you have a
supposed to
Twinterest? Why are you looking at me like that?
Okay, I'm going to tell you my Twinterest is, but I haven't tried it out yet.
Is it hair stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like Reddit, I like it. And there's a subreddit for like, I don't know, like beauty products or whatever. At the end of the day, and this is why marketing is so fantastic and why influencer marketing shouldn't be slept on. When you walk into Sephora, I just want you to count the number of brands that sell the same color foundation. Right?
Yeah.
It's a gajillion of them.
Yes.
And every foundation is a gajillion dollars. So you can't try them all. One, you'll have so much product that you don't like. And then two, you have no money anymore and you can't eat, right? So what I rely on and what a lot of people rely on is recommendations of people who have similar skin issues or similar like
Wrinkles.
Botox. So that is what I like to read on Reddit. So someone had asked this anonymous person on Reddit, what is the one shampoo conditioner combo you can't seem to break up with? And like I for sure thought it was going to be Olaplex. But that thing rose to fame and then fell to the ashes real quick. I still have a bunch of bottles.
I still have a ton of it.
Yeah, okay, whatever. But it is a little expensive.
For sure.
I'm a leader girl through and through. I want a giant tub of shampoo. I don't want to have to portion it out because I'm worried it's going to run out.
For those who don't know, champ is short for shampoo.
And the dish.
The poo part was a little too long.
The shampoo and the dish. So, and I will say, like, I want to talk to Olaplex's packaging company. Why is that impossible to get off that little metal piece at the top?
They don't want it to spill out.
You know, when you use your teeth to open
bag.
something, you truly have.
I saw a girl lose half her tooth using her teeth to open up
Ridiculous.
something.
She probably got Olaplex products. I was trying to get
Use
into
a little knife.
Corrie.
Because you're doing it in the shower.
My
And your hands are
everything for an hour. So they said, so many people, so many, right? They're anonymous. I have no idea what they are. It's probably working for somebody. Probably Mr. and Mrs. Redkin. But they were like, Redkin all soft shampoo and dish was the move. And they said, I try to move away from it. I try these trends or whatever that's popular, but I find myself back at Ulta, back at the Redkin area, and that's all I use because it makes my hair so sharp. So I felt bad for Corrie today.
She did.
And I got her two liner models. And then I had to say, like, awkward, like, here's a gift. Also, it was expensive. Please don't donate it. And if you want to, donate it back to me.
First off,
I don't want it to be in the cavern of that weird pink color that grows in the showers.
First off, I don't get rid of anything. Technically a hoarder.
That's what Archer said the other day, your kid. He was like, yeah, it looks clean until you open something.
Listen, I know. I watched Hoarders for 3 days straight last week.
Wow, you're trying to relate or you're trying to feel better?
I am trying to overcome my mental issues with stuff. The problem is the most used word on Hoarders is stuff.
Yeah.
And that's because you don't know what it is.
Absolutely not.
Like my closet is filled with, honestly, stuff.
Yeah.
It's closed, but I couldn't tell you what.
I need you to purge.
I'm going to. You'll
Don't
be happy.
eat it.
Listen, you'll be happy with me.
Okay.
I had tire shine. One was running out, so I went and got another tire shine.
Sounds solid, solid plan. I do that too.
But then, because
No, I don't want to touch the old one. I want the new one.
I was using the new one. I said, you know what? Use that old one up. Then you get the space back. And you still have the new one. Yeah.
This phrase, for those of you who struggle with hoarding, like me and Corrie, this phrase has set me free. And it's, if you're not using it, it's got no value. But if you donate it, somebody else has the opportunity to use it. I mean, almost like it's like not a sin anymore to donate it. It's not a waste anymore. And almost now I'm like, hey, this jacket I was just never going to wear, like a business jacket. If I donate this, maybe somebody else can get a job wearing
For
this.
those who are more like me and are like, get your own job. Just kidding. Someone said on it that if you do not donate it, you will have to clean it. So that means picking it up, cleaning underneath. It can collect dust now. You have to clean on top of it.
Ridiculous. Dust is like, that looks clean. Don't mind if I stick myself.
I went dusting in my house yesterday. What are we living? I will say, being non-moving after surgery for 3 days on Amazon Prime Day, bad idea. I had only one thing to do. My thumb was working. I got another air purifier.
I may not have been moving, but my bank account was.
Yeah. My husband's like, I hate it. I hate when you don't have something to do. They're just boxes that come to the door.
Corrie.
I got another air purifier.
Kate,
Listen.
can you donate a purifier that you're
No, I'm putting them everywhere. We're having pure air.
Something I like to do is 1 in, 1 out policy. So if I get a new pair of shoes, what shoe was I not wearing? What shoe can I move on to a better life without me?
That when I moved from my house to the house now,
I
Heather
saw
was there.
when I walked in. Okay, you know.
Listen, I'm the creator of the problem.
I walked in, Corey's like, "Hey, I need help moving, but I don't want help from my family except for you because I think you won't tell."
Listen,
So I came in with, I had this positive attitude.
you did.
And I was like, "Hey, yo, brought like 1 thing of Windex, idiot." And then Corey's face was like, "It's more than you think."
It
like
was
a cry for help between the eyes.
It was the amount of candles. One, Corrie, this is something I've come to realize.
Okay.
You can love something.
This is why our listening numbers are down, but I would love to hear that.
I feel like the beginning part was very
solid,
good. You
solid.
can turn it off now.
I wonder if they count as a listen at the beginning or if they have to listen to this part and this is why it's tanking.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll have to
I
go
was going.
Anyway,
This is my favorite part.
if you have something, it's good. It feels good to have something. Let's take a candle, for example. I love the French vanilla candle. Smells good. I love having it. But if I do not use it, I do not have it. It
has
me.
you.
So, in my old house, I had collected all these candles of all these different scents. But none of them, they were all half used. Because I was so worried. But like then I had probably 25 candles.
The joy is actually in using products, not in hoarding the products and not using it. Although that feels good.
Right.
It feels good. But the actual true joy is in the usage of them.
Yeah, and things expire.
Yeah, buddy.
Candles will start losing their scent
Skincare,
after a while.
my little friendies, we got to light a guard.
Absolutely. Food expires.
Yeah.
Contrary to your popular beliefs,
Sprinkles.
food coloring expires.
Let's not talk about. I said it doesn't expire if you don't see the day. Eddie cartridges expire. So again, we kind of really want to get that stuff used.
And mentally, also, this is something I know I was able to recognize that I do. I will buy 2 of something so I don't have to be without. Because I think, like, what if they stop?
Mom did that, and I think we get it from Mom. When we go into her closet, it would be the same exact shirt in 10 different colors, and then it would be a backup white and a backup black.
Soap things.
Yeah, and it felt really great. My mom had this like cabinet.
You would go shopping,
permission, but it would be like there'd be 5. We had a household of 5 girls, so it'd be like 5 champs, 5 conditioners, and you could just grab the most.
You were
recent
just
one.
like going shopping at Bath and Body Works in her closet.
Yeah.
And I think that's an issue I have too. But here's the thing.
So it's Mom's fault.
It's her fault. The space it takes.
Yes. My mom is extremely organized. So while that part was great, what we didn't realize is that she was constantly
She was willing to throw things away. And I did not get that part.
Yeah, because we didn't see it because she didn't want us to know she was donating our toys.
So visual noise, if you live a stressed life, visual noise can add to that stressful life and you just don't know it.
I was walking through Target. I try not to go to Target as often, I'll be honest. I find myself spending money. So when I was walking through Target in the Joanna Gaines section, I'll be like, wow, they built a whole house here, so I don't have to picture it in my own house. I pictured it in their fake house, and it looks stunning here, but theirs going to look like crapiole. So that is all designed for marketing. That's why Corrie will stage a photo to look like, wow, if I have this cookie, look at how fun my Christmas is. No, it's the same Christmas at the house that's always been. It just feels like it'll be different, and it won't be so same when you walk through Target. Genius that Target does those little sections.
Genius. Yeah, they do a whole little kids room.
I think it's smart that Target is putting these little Ultas in there because it doesn't feel like when you go to CVS, and was at CVS, unfortunately, against my will the other day.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, these old version of makeup sections where it's got that bright light blasting
and weird textured carpet that you trip on.
And then CVS, come on, guys. But then now Target's like, look, you're in a makeup store.
Yeah.
But it's the same place. It's a different location, but they changed the vibe.
I know.
Also using really nice lighting changes.
Very bright. Right by the front door. So you can get in, get out.
Impulse buy.
Yeah, so I'm working on that.
Great. Did you have a Twinterest other than getting rid of stuff?
No, that was my Twinterest.
Really? Nothing else? Great. Proud of you.
Thank y'all.
Proud of y'all.
Thank y'all.
Okay, let's do one last finishing the sentence challenge.
Okay. Thank
you
for
listening
to
the
Baking It
Down
podcast.
But
please
listen
to the podcast. Please.